Hello, everyone. Hello, how are you on today? Bringing you a story out of Atlanta, Georgia. A former Atlanta city attorney, police officer indicted in a $7 million PPP fraud scheme. Now, Shelitha Robinson, who formerly served as an assistant city attorney and a police officer for the city of Atlanta, has been indicted for an alleged scheme to defraud the Paycheck Protection Program, which is the PPP, a federal stimulus program authorized as part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security CARES Act. So that, the Corona Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, that is the CARES Act. PPP, you know what that is, the Paycheck Protection Program. And a lot of people have been indicted and actually charged and are serving either probation or jail time. And they've also been made to pay restitution and pay the money back. And it's actually, the money is dollar for dollar. They're not giving you like pay 20 million back if you took 30 million. They are actually asking for the whole dollar amount, right? And so in a lot of these cases, and so Shelitha Robinson, she owns some companies, right? And she had also some co-conspirators. And so anyway, she allegedly, now remember this is allegedly that she did this. So, we say allegedly because, the facts have to come out in the discovery phase and see if she really did all this, right? But anyway, she allegedly stole millions of dollars in taxpayer money, which that money is taxpayers' money, which it was intended, and a lot of small business didn't even get approved. And they were legitimate small business. And then the ones that were not legit and didn't even have businesses, they were the ones that was getting approved. And there were people out here filling out those applications and putting down false information, fraudulent information on those applications, and they were getting paid to get those applications approved, and a lot of them got approved, and people that really were legit, they didn't get approved. And it's really sad because a lot of small business that really needed the money, that are legitimate business, they missed out on a lot of that money because of fraud like this. Now, I'm not saying that she's guilty of anything, but I am bringing you this story, right? And so, um, like I said, allegedly stole millions of dollars in taxpayer money intended to help small businesses stay afloat during the pandemic, said U.S. Attorney Ryan K. Buchanan. CARES Act loans were designed to help sustain small businesses during the pandemic, not to serve as a source of personal enrichment. Now, a lot of people that got the money fraudulently, they actually use that money for their own personal enrichment. You saw people buying Mercedes. Somebody bought a Bentley, I believe it was, but Mercedes, buying expensive purses, jewelry, taking trips, eating out, partying at or having, going on vacations, paying for expensive hotels. They were living the life. Some people even put money down on a house. People were living the actual life of the taxpayers' money. So when people say, well, I'm glad they got away with it because of the X, Y, and Z of the government did this and that, I'm not glad they got away with it, because do you not know that that was part of your tax money? This federal money was part of your tax money. So anytime people are stealing money and it's your tax money, we all are going to suffer. And look at us now. We're in this inflation. Gas prices are starting to come down, but look at everything is expensive, and they don't even have the quality merchandise anymore, but it's even more expensive, and you can't get everything that you used to get in these stores when you're going out shopping for whatever you're looking for, including food. So it is different. And so when you say you don't care, I'm just saying it's part of your tax money that they're stealing from you as well. And so you wouldn't want someone to personally steal from you. So why would you want someone to publicly steal from you? And especially someone that was a former Atlantic City attorney and police officer, and they're stealing money like this, right? So this is what they're saying, allegedly. And I'm going to say allegedly again. But however, it says this is what Ryan K. Buchanan had to say, go on to say. We will continuously to vigorously investigate and prosecute anyone who fraudulently obtains these critical funds. Okay, this indictment charges the defendant with defrauding a government stimulus program designed to help those most in need during the pandemic, said Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation Inspector General J.N. Lerner. Now, that's a lot of words right there, right? Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation Inspector General. If you did not hear me the first time, okay, that's a lot to take in, right? FDICIG. Okay, so we will continue to work with U.S. attorneys and our law enforcement partners to hold accountable individuals that aim to undermine the integrity of the banking sector. Trusted members of our communities, such as former law enforcement officers and public officials, should be held to the highest standards. I agree. We all should be held to higher standards. But I certainly agree when you are a public official, you're in a public office position, you are to be for the people, by the people, and helping the people, not helping yourself, right? Now, the Paycheck Protection Program was intended to help businesses keep their workforce employed during the COVID-19 crisis, not to fund a personal lifestyle, right? Said the U.S. Small Business Administration Office of Inspector General, Eastern Region, Special Agent in Charge, Amilca McCall Brathwaite. OIG is committed to rooting out bad actors and protecting the integrity of SBA programs. I want to thank the U.S. Attorney's Office and our law enforcement partners for their dedication and pursuit of justice. Now, the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, here we go, TIGTA, okay, aggressively pursues those who attempt to abuse the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act and its Paycheck Protection Program, which was created to assist legitimate business owners during the pandemic, said J. Russell George, the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. We appreciate the efforts of our law enforcement partners and the U.S. Attorney's Office to ensure individuals engaged in criminal activity are held to account, right? Now, according to U.S. Attorney Buchanan, the charges and other information presented in court, Shelitha Robinson and other co-conspirators allegedly submitted fraudulent PPP loan applications on behalf of various companies they owned and controlled. The indictment alleges that Robinson fraudulently obtained over $7 million in PPP loan funds, which was not used for payroll or other permitted business expenses. Robinson allegedly used loan proceeds to purchase luxury items, including a Rolls Royce, a motorcycle, and jewelry, and to transfer funds to family members and co-conspirators. Shelitha Robinson, she's 60 years of age. Now, she's up in retirement, close to retirement, or she could, you know what I'm saying, at 60, you don't want to be behind bars at 60 years of age. You should be living your best life, getting into retirement, relaxing, you know, entering into retirement to live your best life with your children. And if you have grandchildren, you know, those type of things, having peace of mind. And so you to be 60 years old, man, I hope that you are truly innocent. But of course, you know, the government definitely is still prosecuting people for these PPP loan fraud schemes. They are. And they're going to continue to go after people. And they're steady looking into people, you know, these loans. Because remember, they gave you the money up front. And now they're coming back after the fact, looking into what did you do with the money? How did you use it? What was it for? And things like that. So it's very important that if you did it, you know they're coming for you. And if you're innocent, stand on your innocence. But unfortunately, you know, this is where we are in society, is when they gave out this money, a lot of people assumed it was free money and they can get away with this, and that the government was not going to come back and look into these applications. But unfortunately, that was not the case for a lot of people. And so anytime you're going to be filling out applications, you need to tell the truth. And don't ever put down fraudulent information on a government application, because they are going to come for you. Now, some of these credit card companies, like, you know, department stores, they might just deny your application, you know, and just don't give you credit. But the government applications, oh no, they're coming for you. That's just the bottom line. That's just the truth. Those are facts. That's not something that I'm just going to make up. In my opinion, when you putting down information and it's fraudulent on a government application, they are coming for you. And if you get those benefits, you know, after you've done that, and they approve it, and or if they call you to clarify some things and you still tell them some stuff that was not true, and they go along and approve you based on those that fraudulent information you provided, they're coming for you. Okay. So anyway, okay, so she's 60 of Atlanta, is charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and money laundering. Members of the public are reminded that the indictment only contains charges. Now, see, it's only charges, so that's why it's allegedly. Because just because you're indicted doesn't mean you're guilty. But we don't know yet, right? So the defendant is presumed innocent of the charges, and it will be the government's burden to prove the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. That's how it's supposed to work. But that doesn't mean it always works that way. But that's how it's supposed to work. Now, I hope that she didn't do anything. I hope she didn't do what they're saying she did. I really do. Because, I mean, I really hope she didn't, right? Because at 60 years of age, Miss Robertson, you want to live your best life. You don't want to be behind bars. You really don't want to have to defend yourself. And now you're going to have to defend yourself paper by paper, numbers by numbers, piece by piece, right? Receipts by receipts. You are going to have to present your information, your evidence through your attorney, you know, your accountants, getting your information together to show if you did it or you didn't, right? So this case is being investigated by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation Office of Inspector General, which is the FDIC-OIG, right? The U.S. Small Business Administration Office of Inspector General, SBA-OIG, and Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, like I told you, TIGTA. Assistant U.S. Attorney Bernita Malloy and Trial Attorney Ariel Glassner of the Department of Justice, DOJ, Criminal Division's Fraud Section are prosecuting the case. Okay? Now, the Fraud Section leads the Criminal Division's prosecution of fraud schemes that exploit the PPP. Since the inception of the CARES Act, the Fraud Section has prosecuted over 192 defendants in more than 121 cases and has seized over $78 million in cash proceeds derived from fraudulently obtained PPP funds, as well as numerous real estate properties and luxury items purchased with such proceeds. Didn't I tell you all that? That people bought some properties too as well. And right here, let's go back to how many they have prosecuted already and found guilty. 192 defendants in more than 121 criminal cases and has seized over $78 million in cash proceeds derived from fraudulently obtained PPP funds, as well as numerous real estate properties and luxury items purchased with such proceeds. I had to read that again, so in case I read it too fast. Now, if you want to know, you can go to this link, that I'm going to put in the comment section so that you can see that, right? So in May 2021, the Attorney General established the COVID-19 Fraud Enforcement Task Force to marshal the resources of the Department of Justice in partnership with agencies across government to enhance efforts to combat and prevent pandemic-related fraud. The task force bolsters efforts to investigate and prosecute the most culpable domestic and international criminal actors and assist agencies tasked with administering relief programs to prevent fraud by augmenting and incorporating existing coordination mechanisms, identifying resources and techniques to uncover fraudulent actors and their schemes, and sharing and harnessing information and insights gained from prior enforcement efforts. For more information on the department's response to the pandemic, please visit, and there's a website, and then anyone with information about allegations, of attempted fraud involving COVID-19 can report it by calling the Department of Justice National Center for Disaster Fraud, NCDF, hotline via the NCDF web complaint form at, and there is a complaint website. I will give you that information in the comments. And for further information, please contact the U.S. Attorney's Public Affairs Office at usagan.press, emails at usdoj.gov, or 404-581-6016. And then the internet address for the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia is. And so I'm going to give you this information, in this video in case you have questions or whatever you want to look up. But again, this is alleged. This is charges. She hasn't officially been found guilty of anything yet, but there are charges, and they are looking into it. They are investigating. And like I said, I hope that Ms. Robinson is not found guilty of these charges. But if she is, hey, I don't know what to say. It's unfortunate, but hopefully, it's like I said, these are just charges. This is alleged, and they are looking into it. And you are proven, excuse me, innocent until proven guilty, so they say. But we see a lot of times people are automatically guilty and then have to prove they're innocent. But the burden relies on the government. We know that to prove her guilt. And so anyway, leave your comments or respectful comments below. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, like it, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all my new subscribers. Please leave your respectful comments below. If you know anything about this case, if you even know who she is, can you say anything, share anything with us in the comments about what you know, factual, not opinion, but factual about this. But you can leave your opinion on what you think. But if you know some facts and not hearsay, but you know this person personally and how they operated and did their business, how they were, how they handled their business when they were in public office, let us know about all of that. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. God bless you all. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, StandupBcounted. Check out my OitsSharine Jewelry. Stick with the 6 weeks, right? God bless you all. Talk with you soon.